Today, we're diving into a powerful new playbook for school principals. We're talking about using artificial intelligence to help you finally master the two competing hats you have to wear every single day.
You know this tension, right? One minute, you're buried in legal compliance, board reports, and tricky parent emails. That's the administrator. And the very next, you need to be in a classroom, coaching a teacher, focusing on pedagogy. That's the instructional leader. So, how on earth do you excel at both?
Well, that's the big promise here. We're going to show you exactly how AI can become your strategic partner, helping you not just manage, but actually master both sides of your incredibly important role. So let's dive in. First up, let's put on that administrator hat. The goal here is simple, but honestly, it's transformative. We're going to use AI to automate the administrative grunt work that drains your time so you can get back to focusing on the big picture strategy your school really needs from you. We're going to start with something we call the private war room. Just think of this as your own secure, closed AI environment. It's a place where you can analyze sensitive documents. I'm talking handbooks, accreditation reports, without any of that data ever leaving your control. So, how does this actually work? It's really just three simple steps. First, you upload a core document, say your student handbook. Second, you give it a very specific prompt, like, hey, compare this to the new state guidelines and find the top 3 problems. And the value? Bam. Instantly, you're flagging potential legal risks, and you've just saved yourself hours, maybe even days, of mind-numbing reading. Okay, so from policy, we move to people. AI can be an unbelievable ally in managing those really challenging communications. Let's tackle something every leader dreads, the difficult email. Think of AI as your communications co-pilot here. You can upload that raw, negative parent feedback and then prompt the AI to draft a response with a really specific tone. You want it to be empathetic, you want it transparent, but also firm. This gives you a solid first draft, helping you manage a potential crisis with confidence and saving you from staring at that terrifying blank page. All right, time to switch hats. We're stepping out of the principal's office and into the classroom. Now, as an instructional leader, your goal is to really get a handle on what excellent AI-powered teaching looks like, so you can effectively guide, support, and evaluate your amazing staff. And this quote right here, it just nails the mindset shift we all need to make. When you see your teachers using these tools, it's not about cheating or cutting corners. It's about automating prep time so they can reinvest those hours where it truly matters, building relationships with students and giving them meaningful feedback. That's the game changer for learning. So what does this actually look like in practice? Let's start with a task every teacher does, lesson planning. But listen, this is not about churning out generic worksheets. No way. This is about going so much deeper. So picture this. A history teacher uploads the actual Magna Carta. Then they ask the AI to build a whole 45-minute lesson plan based only on that source. You see what's happening? This is the key. It pushes pedagogy away from those boring cookie-cutter lessons and straight towards deep, authentic engagement with real historical texts. Now, let's talk about what might be the single most powerful use of AI in the classroom. We're calling it the Killer app for teachers because it solves one of their biggest, most time-consuming challenges: differentiation. Here's a perfect example. A teacher can take a super complex text, maybe a university research paper, and ask the AI to rewrite the abstract for a 6th grade reading level. But, and this is important, keep the key vocabulary bolded. This means they can support every single learner in the classroom, from struggling readers to those who are way ahead, all without spending their entire weekend creating 5 different versions of the same handout. Okay, so we've seen AI in action for both of your roles, for both hats, but what are the actual engines making all this happen? It is so important to understand that not all AI is the same. It's all about matching the right tool to the right job. You're basically going to be using 2 main types of AI. On one side, you've got something like Notebook LM, which you can think of as the analyzer. It's a closed system. It only knows what you feed it, which makes it perfect for accurately analyzing specific documents. On the other side, you've got Gemini, which we'll call the creator. This is an open AI that can brainstorm, generate totally new text, and help you draft communications from scratch. And this table really brings it all home. See? As a principal, you use the analyzer Notebook LM for your handbooks and contracts.
As a teacher, you use that same tool for primary sources and textbooks. And when it comes to creating new stuff, you both turn to Gemini. Whether you're drafting speeches and newsletters or your teachers are creating rubrics and lesson plans, it's all about that tailored approach.
So, we've covered the tools, we've covered the tactics. Now let's just zoom out for a second. This isn't just about being more efficient. This is about leading your school with real purpose and foresight in a world that is changing faster than ever.
And that leadership has to start with clear, non-negotiable boundaries. There is a hard red line when it comes to student data. You never input student names, you never input student grades, and you never input sensitive information like IEPs into these systems, period. That is the bedrock of using this stuff responsibly and ethically.
Now, when you walk into a classroom to do an observation, this right here is your new guiding question. It's the simplest gut check for the quality of AI integration. Just ask yourself, are the students doing the thinking, or is the AI doing the thinking for them? And this brings us to what might be the most important takeaway of all. The goal of AI is not to replace your professional judgment. It's not here to replace you. It is here to augment your capacity, to handle the routine stuff so you can focus on the relational, the strategic, and the uniquely human parts of leadership that no machine will ever be able to do. So AI is no longer some sci-fi concept on the horizon. It's here, right now. The question is no longer if it's going to impact your school, but how. How are you going to harness this incredible power to be a more effective administrator and an even more impactful instructional leader? The playbook is right here. The next move is yours.